Right, welcome back to the show. Now, gentlemen, we are going to our next headline for discussion today. Now, the National Security Council has released a statement stating that there is no vigilante group being trained at Asutuare. Emmanuel, let me start with you.
Thank you very much, my brother. Like I was saying earlier when we went for break, His Excellency, the former president, should stop being petty. Certain things shouldn't be said. Certain things shouldn't come from a statesman. You understand? Someone who has risen to the level of becoming a president and now being a flag bearer of the largest opposition party. Certain things shouldn't be coming from him. It needs to be coming from maybe the communicators. You understand? Yes, but then we know how serious vigilantism is. Vigilante groups are. We know the threat that they pose on the citizenry. You understand? And you recall when we went to Tripoli, to Talensi, to Metiwa by election, and then to Ayawaso West one. We all know the how unpleasant the situations were. You understand? So for a former president to come and then say that we are training party tags, it
doesn't add up.
No. But then we need evidence.
Yes.
You understand?
So, but Emmanuel, you see, the former president was once the commander-in-chief of the Ghana forces. So if he's casting such aspersions, doesn't he spend fears into you?
No,
as a nation.
Like I said, he has been a president before, and he's now a former president, and he knows exactly what happens at Asutuare. You understand?
So what happens at Asutuare?
He knows that is where they train recruits into the national security. You understand? But then for a former president who knows exactly what happens there to come and then tell us that we are training party tags, it doesn't really add up. You understand? It doesn't add up. And what are his bases for even saying that? You understand? For making those mere allegations. You can't just stand up and make some mere allegations. You understand? Just because you feel you have the platform to talk. You understand? Certain things, like I said, should be made by communicators. You understand? But not someone who has risen to be president. But then the simple question that we are asking, of which I would like to ask my brother here, is that we need evidence. We need pictures to prove. You understand? Not just mere allegations and then speak excuse me to say anyhow just because you feel that you have the platform to speak.
My man, I hope you've seen the pictures that is going around. Does it add up, the pictures?
No. Like I said, His Excellency is being a bit petty. Do you remember he came somewhere some weeks ago to tell us that we are using Bentua for coup d'etat and all of that? You understand? A former president shouldn't be speaking like that. You understand? Even with the pictures, nothing shows that he is. Nothing shows that
there has been a training over there. Yes. So
I listened to Uncle Kweku Bako on one of your sister stations, and then he rubbished the issue upright. You understand?
What did Uncle Kweku Bako say?
He just said the things that I'm saying right now, that he knows, even former President Mahama knows that at Asutuare you cannot train party thugs over there, and that base or that place is only for national security recruits only. That's where they are being trained.
The most interesting part of Asutuare, there is an inscription over there written, "If you have nothing to do, don't do it here." So
if you have nothing to do,
if truly you can tell our viewers for a fact that there has been no training of such tags over there. Right. So Razbingi, Emmanuel is saying,
but then before that, my question still holds.
I'll answer your question. You see,
thank you.
I'm very no evidence.
I'm very sad. I'm very sad. My brother Emmanuel is making such comments, and I forgive him.
Interesting.
You see, we have video and pictorial evidence of tags being trained at Asutuare. You remember he mentioned Ayawaso West Wagon incidents.
Right.
At the Emil Short Commission.
Yes.
When
is that the circle?
Yeah. I want to double.
Double.
When Double was asked where he was trained, he said they took him to Asutuare, trained him on how
Which
to.
people took
Oh,
him to
please,
Asutuare?
please.
Are we glad
If
if you allow
No, but which people?
I'm
Please
I'm
ask
I'm, build, I'm building my point, so you allow me build the point. You get me? He said when they were training, they took them to Asutuare because he was selling a circle. They just called him because he was a branch chairman at Medina, a NPP branch chairman at Medina. So when they won power, they took him to Asutuare. They took them there. They trained them on how to talk on gota and handle arms. You know the Emily Short Commission has recommended that he should be prosecuted. So if a commission of such capacity has found somebody who is being called a national security operative, then you should know there was something somewhere. Aside that, I want to prove my brother that he doesn't know what he was talking about. When the pictures first came out, they were wearing khaki and this military round necks, where they were learning combat, unarmed combat, how to tackle somebody who is armed and you are not armed. They were training them on how to shoot at waist level. When the issue popped up and the party started talking of it, that they are training their vigilante people there, what did they come out? The next video you saw was they were wearing those green forestry gas,
Yeah.
with the inscription that Ghana Forestry Commission.
That's where they are coming from.
And I'm coming, my
That's
brother.
where they are
My
coming
brother, wait. When you wait, you get my point. You see, I know for a fact because I've stayed at forestry areas before. Forestry gas do not handle weapons.
Right.
See, where weapons are handled by them are those who are in charge of wildlife. In Ghana, we don't have wildlife. Whenever forestry gas are going on operation, they go together with what? Military personnel. If you go to the Achimota forestry, you will see them there. You see the forestry gas and the military men. The military men are armed, whereas the forestry gas are not. You see, Eastern region, when you reach Lendador, they have a point there. They have a forestry post there. When you reach there, you see that the forestry guards are not armed, but the military men are armed.
Right.
So, my brother, the former president just didn't talk. He talked because he has been president before. He has been the commander-in-chief of this country, and he knows how security things go about.
Yeah, Ras, I do.
And you see,
understand
do you know where we must fear most? There have been what? Inconsistency in responses to what he said. First, they said they were not training people. Then I think we have the Peace Council also come up to also attack those videos that we saw. Later, we saw them in Forestry Commission uniform. My brother, which forestry guard is trained on waist side shooting, is trained on armed combat? Are they going to fight trees?
Not at all.
Are trees holding guns? Who are they learning the guns to shoot at?
But Ras, you understand clearly that from now, we see that in the national security we do have civilians. So what is wrong with training civilians at Asutuare?
My brother, we have national security. They are civilians. When you say civilians, you've gotten it wrong. You see, the national security is made up of the Ghana, the military, the police, the fire service. They all come up. So whenever they need people for operation, they pick from there. But they go undercover because most national security personnel do undercover investigations. So they are always in uniform, civilian uniforms like you and I.
Yes, but the case of Double is a clear example that we do have civilians.
He's a national security operative.
Okay.
So now, do you agree?
My brother. When you wait, you get the point.
Give me the opportunity.
When you wait, you see, our brother Yaro is still at the hospital because of those incidents. So when I'm talking, I talk with passion. You know, it was last 3 days that his newborn son was adored.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And you see, his own son was being adored, and our brother couldn't be there. The last time we went to visit him, I nearly cried. So I left. Went there with the Greater Accra Regional Youth Organizer and my constituency youth organizer, Kofi NDC, Dan Hazel. I nearly cried. So I came out. My brother, you see, let's face reality. The people being trained there, you see, if you remember, somewhere middle of this year,
right,
a letter came up. That was, I think, the Upper East, that each constituency should deploy people to be trained as what? Election monitoring what? Gas. Party. You see, it pains me my phone is off. I would have shown letters. It was intercepted. We were in this country when we saw MMDCs being trained in military style and combat at Achiansi Jungle Warfare. You get my point? So what is the basis of it? Why are they training the people? For what? We were all here when, was it last 3 days or so? I saw the publication that the security personnel have formed it's an election monitoring security something.
Yes.
Those are the people they are training to use.
But Ras, you also agree with me that all the two political parties are either affiliated to one group that is described as a vigilante group. But
my brother,
are you saying you are not also training?
My brother, if you say that the NDC, National Democratic Congress, and the incoming president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, have been able to come out with pictures and videos that vigilante guys are being trained as state. You see, don't forget this. Manasa Auni Azure brought a documentary which endangered his life and even cost him his job at Multimedia. There was a program at the conference center where their leader, when he was addressing them, said, the president even asked me, are these the boys at the castle? We all watched it. So, my brother, if you don't know how death is, imagine how it is when you go to sleep.
Yeah, Emmanuel, I'll come with you in a minute.
So
kindly wrap
my
up
point is, Manasa Une Azure made us aware people were being trained. And later, they were sacked from the Osu Castle. And today, we are seeing videos and pictures of people being trained in how to shoot at close range, long range, waist, gun handling, unarmed combat. And you tell me their forestry guards, are they going to fight with trees? Are they going to shoot leaves? Are you telling me the chainsaw operators come with bazooka, M15? They have armored cars? No, my brother. You see, aside politics, we have a country
to build.
That
is how I want our discussion to focus.
I'm a Pan-Africanist.
That's true. I could see that.
So most of the time, there are some topics, when you put them down, I talk passionately. Because you see, when you go to when you go to Cote d'Ivoire, today, Alassane Ouattara is suffering. Because when Laurent Gbagbo called for recount, which they said no, he will not accept. You know, he got people who were fighting the state for him. And at the end of the day, with the aid of France, they ousted Laurent Gbagbo.
That is another story.
And today, those people are turning against the state. Because they were somewhat promises made to them which were not fulfilled. After the election 2012, at Osu, Nanado said it, that when they unleash the attacks, we all have not forgotten it.
Yes.
So, my brother, with ending, let's put our political parties aside. Because with that Ghana, there will not be any political party. And when bullets are flying, they don't know political colors. At the end of the day, I'll be affected, he'll be affected, you'll be affected. Right. Let's talk this issue passionately. As the president was bold enough to bring out the vigilante law, let's stay by it. Don't say because I have the state power, I have the state apparatus, so I'll be using military apparatus to train party vigilante boys for the next election. We have only one Ghana.
Right. So Emmanuel, we do have one Ghana, and then
Yes.
if bullets are flying, they know no
but
political palace.
Exactly. But then my brother just said he's a Pan-Africanist. But then I would like to know, since when did he become that Pan-African?
That
Pan-Africanist
that
is
is a
saying.
personal
No. Because we were here when people were being shot at Etiwa, at Treponi, at Talensi, and all of those.
Can you allow me? Atiwa was where Nanado said Atiwa kra ni echere omu bibi kakra. So it should tell you the massacre that went on at Atiwa wasn't by the state.
I'll be glad if you can give him the platform.
Yes, like I was saying, my brother said he's a Pan-Africanist. You understand? So since when did he become that Pan-African person he's talking about? What did he say when blood was shed at Chiripone? Where were you? Were you still a Pan-African? Were you still a Pan-Africanist?
Yes, I was.
Wow.
So Emmanuel, until when can we get this menace resolved?
That is why I would commend His Excellency the President for passing the vigilante bill into law. You understand? And then it's going to be enforced. Yes. But then the only thing I would like to see before we end is that a former president shouldn't be talking like a communicator. He's a statesman. So certain things are there he shouldn't be saying. You understand? Yeah.
Yes. But Emmanuel, if you get me, they are still complaining about the vigilante bill.
Who is?
Yes, the National Democratic Congress, your opposition. They are saying that you have shielded your tax and then you want to attack them.
You know,
state power.
NDC, they don't seem to amaze me. Like,
I mean, whatever they are doing,
whatever we do,
political points.
Exactly.
That is what they've been doing. Always.
Exactly. But then my brother spoke about Manasseh's thing, video. Which party tag will be training suit?
But party tags, are they training? What are they training?
Oh no, but he was like, party tags, they are they look very smart. Maybe they are in black shirts and with some khaki trousers, like the ones we normally know. But then which party tag will be training suit?
Oh, okay.
And
I would like to rebut.
And even the party tags that he's talking about, that Manasseh's video captured. Those people, they are just slim people like me. They don't even have body like you. Not to talk of a double's body. And then you come and tell me that they are party tags. Like, it doesn't add up. You understand? And then I listened to Charles Owusu on one radio station, and then he was like, the people being trained at Asutuare are forest guards. He was very emphatic. Okay. You understand? So I'll leave it here for now. That is what he said. But then, you know, for the NDC, they would always want to create their own distortions and then follow suit. So you don't expect him to believe what is being said, or you don't expect him to believe the truth. We know them. You understand?
Right. So as he says he knows your political party, you always want to achieve political points. So when are we going to resolve this issue?
It seems Iman doesn't know what he's talking about. If he knows what he's talking about, when we say a tag, I know a lot of people on the streets who do things double with all his muscles can't do. A tag is not, we have bodybuilders. Budo and Bozin were not tags, but they were bodybuilders. You see, I remember I was Asafo. There was one guy called Sahine. Sahine is just like my brother here.
Right.
But the things he would do, 3 times of double can't do it. So when we say a tag, it's not a bodybuilder. No, we have people who are building body for fun. And we have people who are building body to intimidate people.
Right.
Exactly.
So being a tag doesn't make you a bodybuilder, or being a bodybuilder doesn't make you a tag.
Sure.
And you see, now brother, I asked a question which Ima has not been able to answer me.
Which is?
The question is, are the forestry guards going for war, where they will be trained in unarmed combat?
You know, they are going to the forest.
My brother.
So anything at all
my
can
brother.
come up. You understand? So they need to be trained. They need to train themselves.
I'm coming. Let me. You see, when you say they are going to the forest, unarmed combat, are they going to fight are the animals? Let's say the animals in the forest or the trees in the forest. Are they with weapons? You
so
see, no, my brother. Let me,
they are going to the forest, they shouldn't protect themselves.
No, let me tell you something.
You know that when they go to the forest,
you see, do you know something? I earlier gave a scenario of how forest guards are.
Okay.
Forest guards don't handle ammunition. They don't handle arms. I've lived at Achimota Forest before.
Right.
Not the forest, but the area. The college. I've lived at the college before. So I see them every day. So those people being trained, my brother, let's not mince words. They are being trained where they what? They will be worn security uniforms as part of our state security to cause mayhem. Because you see, that was the
you don't expect him to.
My brother, see, did you watch? If you watched the Emil Short Commission very well, you will know the discrepancies that were there. Because when those things happened, the shooting and co happened, the regional police commander came to say the people who went to shoot were not policemen.
Yeah, that's true.
But they were sitting in a police vehicle being led by DSP Azugu.
How sure are you the people who shot were the ones in the police vehicle?
Oh, my brother, please.
I'll allow him.
Please. You see, when you say that, when you say, I'm coming on. No, you see, when you say those people were not the ones that shot
were you there?
Because at the Emil Short Commission, Double and the other guys even attested to it that they shot the guns. So you see, when you do that, you've not been fair to our cherished listeners. You see, we have an audience to educate.
Yes, that's true.
You have an audience to educate. So you must take your time and talk on issues very well. Because you can't tell me they were not those who shot when they have agreed at a commission of inquiry. You see, when the president says a commission, that is why lawyer Emil Short, you know, he has been former Shraj boss. He's a lawyer. And being a Shraj boss, I think you are equal to appeal court or a justice of the Supreme Court or the High Court.
High Court.
So it tells you that a commission set by the president has the same powers as that of a High Court. So you can't go there and lie. And that was how come the commission came out with the recommendations that Double and the guy who slapped Honorable Sam George should be prosecuted. But you see, the saddest part of it is when the president was issuing the white paper, he exonerated the person who slapped a sitting member of parliament.
Yes.
But then he's trying to forget what Honorable Sam George did. You understand?
You see, my brother. So are you telling me?
Did you watch the video?
I'm coming. Are you telling me as we are here, you provoke me, so I kill you and I'm free?
Did he kill him?
No. You see, always the reaction.
Right,
but then he's a member of parliament. He's a member of parliament. So you have to pose as such. You understand?
The actions.
You're speaking about actions right now.
Are more considered.
Exactly. So you are speaking about actions being considered, and as a member of parliament, you have to conduct yourself in a way and manner that people are going to respect you. But then when you come on field and then you be like, Jesus Christ. And then,
Ima, do you know something?
Yeah, I'm listening.
I understand your point you are making.
No, but
let me
know that sometimes behavior provokes people to do things. Do you know? Before you speak, do you know that
relax,
guys, we'll be wrapping up soon.
Ima, let me tell you something.
I'm listening.
What was happening that day? Sam George never insulted the man, as he said.
Were you there?
Oh.
We watched the video. I don't expect you to tell me that.
What did Sam George say?
No, but then
you watch the video.
Yes, we all watch the video.
Sam George
but
say?
Then I don't expect you to come and.
I
am answering your question.
What did he say?
Can you please allow me?
No, you see,
I'm answering this question.
I've asked you a straight. You see.
Yes, I am answering.
I'm coming. I asked the straight answer.
Yes, I am answering.
What did he say?
Yes, and I'm like, you don't expect I don't expect you to tell me that Sam George will be asking maybe Etisane, and then you'll be like Etisane.
No, but you see,
we didn't hear any voice. But then Sam George,
I'm coming.
when you look at his attitude and all of that in a video, you could see that he was provoking the guy. I am not trying to save the guy or something.
You don't
but
just you see.
So the slap is as a result of the
you see. Let me tell you something.
I am not saying that. No matter
you
shouldn't slap someone. You understand?
I'm not a lawyer. See, I'm not a lawyer. Oh no, I have the platform,
Yes,
and you are
yes.
interjecting.
Yes,
You see, I'm not a lawyer, but the actions are what is considered more at the law court.
Exactly. So would you agree with me that Sam George's action?
Well, gentlemen, we don't have the whole of the day, so let's end it here. Our cherished viewers, you could hear from our panelists having the discussions on exactly what the National Security Council is saying with regards to training at Asutuare.